Hello once again. Okay, let's cause I be trying to hide certain stuff from the background. You know, when I got up in the morning and didn't really feel like cleaning up. But like I think a lot of us guys, we need to get in the practice of just being human. Like, and not putting up these fronts for people all the time. And that's just what I do. Like, y'all don't know. Like, I speak the truth. I just speak the truth. That's why sometimes I shut up and don't say anything. I'm just like, okay, really? And it seems fake, but you can't help it. Like if certain people are on certain levels, you know what I mean. You kind of have to meet them at the level that they are. That's what being humble is about, and then hope that through them watching and seeing what your life is representing, and if it's all for the good or for the greatest good of yourself, then they'll know, it'll resonate, like, okay, something has to be true about what this person is talking about. Other than that, that's why I do a YouTube channel, because it's easier to reach the people that want to be reached, that need to be reached, versus like trying to talk to a bunch of people in my surroundings that is kind of on clueless right now, or they're trying to understand, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And then again, it is because I feel like people, the minds of the people is what's going to secure our future as a human being, or as human beings. And as uncomfortable it may feel to actually wake up and change, okay, as uncomfortable as it may feel, it is very necessary. And all you got to do is think about your children, like in survival, but survival on a higher level. Okay, so that brings me to this next thing, because it was a toss up whether I was gonna break down each sign, and I'm not gonna do that, and how I was gonna deliver. Like, I do a lot of stumbling in my talking sometimes because I have Mercury retrograde. Okay, and Mercury retrograde in my chart, it's like wants to get out all this information, but then doesn't know sometimes how to properly get it out. And that's where notes and stuff is going to help me out. And still, that doesn't even matter sometimes. I just don't really care right now. So I'm just going to talk anyways. So yeah, and what I'm talking about in this video is the Aquarian age, right? And I'm going to try to make it as understandable as possible. Okay? I'm going to talk about the Aquarian age. I'm going to talk about the signs and the elements and how it corresponds to the Aquarian age. Okay? So, first of all, the Aquarian age. All right. The Aquarian age is just simply the new age that we're going into. Okay? We, as human beings, are evolving into. I see some people that question the validity of evolution. I myself don't really believe in evolution the way that it's taught to us. I don't. But I do believe in evolution on the way what it represents as we grow and we change. I just don't really believe that we were ever monkeys or apes. I feel like we were always freaking human beings. Okay. And as we were filtered out, or because we're talking about scientists here, like universal scientists that came and paved the way, that brought information. And a lot of people might say, well, it's not science because it hasn't been proven and blah, blah, blah. But how has it not? You know what I mean? I feel like science is I feel like science is metaphysical as well. And if you outrule that, you already setting yourself up for failure. So with that being said, I do believe that we do evolve in, like, from different states, from states to state of conscious being, right? So if that's the case, that's dealing with the mind, right? And that makes all sense to me, for the fact that if you know that the mind is the creator, and or like the thoughts that creates it all, and we're direct, okay, the mind is like the creative source, right? That gives us the vision or the view of what we're creating, right? And then we have the universe, God. I happen to believe that God is a limited word. Like it's a Greek word. And no, I'm not going to use all these fancy words because I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to articulate a lot of this information over. And it still goes over people's heads. So I'm trying to, even not because anybody is stupid or dumb or any of that or can't comprehend. No, it's not because of that. It's because it's like a lot of new information for people to try to fit in their heads and their brains that's completely goes against what they've been taught. So that's why. All right. So God, okay, and I'm going to use God because that's what a lot of us know this source as, this creative source as God. If you take God, right, and God indeed said that we were made in his image, right? That means looking at yourself right now. If you take a look at yourself, look at your body, and it's not even limited to your body really. Okay, look at the fact that look at what you can do as a result of your manifestation here on earth in body, in form. Look what you can do. Look what we can do as humans. And if you take away, right, pieces or portions of this vehicle, but yet you still have the capability to think, or you still have your mind, you can still do like tremendous things. Okay? Like for instance, just because you have some people that lose their legs, but then again they excel in track and field, even with their prosthetic legs. It's because their mind is telling them, but you still can. You see? Now, take the same human being or the same individual. Take his mind away. What then? Okay. So we're made in the likes of the creator. We're made in the likes of God. And if that means that the universe or God had to be this massive mind. Okay. Because it had a vision. The vision was us. The vision was physical form amongst so many other visions that, we can't even play out. We're on earth here right now. Or at least, I don't want to get too out there. We're on earth here right now. Okay. So with that being said, right, every facet, right, of energy and elements, right, all belong to that higher power, that higher source. Okay? Even though we're a part of that higher power, a higher source, and we belong to it as well, okay, we still tend to forget that we do through brainwashing, through other ridiculous situations. And you know what? Here's the thing. I almost feel as if it's like it's set up for us to forget that we do. So I don't even think that like where some people are going with this, where they think like you can kind of. I can understand escaping from the matrix, but when they think that you can really, and then like the government is setting this stuff up, I feel like it's higher than that. Almost as if it's set up like this on design, and we're coming through and we're living out certain things, and we have to go through these certain things, right, in order to pass, in order to extend ourselves beyond this level. Okay? I ain't saying the government, that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. I'm trying to incorporate. I know so many different people with so many different perspectives and ideas. And I'm trying to hit on them, So I'm saying I feel like it's way bigger than that. I feel like, I don't know, can we really escape the matrix, or is it really us not letting the matrix, or us not succumbing to the matrix, like us not losing our humanity through the trials and tribulations of the matrix, or our spirituality, us not losing who we are. It's like a spiritual test as a soul or as a spirit. Okay, so I don't even know if like completely escaping the matrix is possible. I feel like as we enlighten in humanity, that which is above grants us that release. Like, okay, yeah, they solved it. Okay, they're solving it. Yeah, good. Okay, let's evolve them. It's like a giant think tank that's set up on purpose. Okay, so with that being said, we're directly connected to that, right? And if we're directly connected to that, and we forgot, it's kind of like we got to find our way back to it. Okay, we're connected as a whole, but we're finding our way back to it as individuals. Okay, through the relationships, the interactions of others. Okay, because we're talking about, you know, as we learn, as we teach, and then we grow, as we experience, and then we grow. Okay, and a lot of times we've learned to experience our experiences through other people to teach us them or to wake us up. That means we are usually experiencing it. It's better that you are speaking from a place of experience than a place from just like going and researching. I will say you can have a combination of both, but it just is like, I feel like I would want to know my information from someone that experienced it versus them doing research and then I'm trying to figure out if that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's too much for me. That's why we're in an experience. That's why we're going through these things, so that we can then come out on the other side of the experience, because our soul wants to. So we come out on the other side of the experience, and then we go and then we tell the other experiencers, like, hey, that's experiencing, you can do this because I did it. And it depends on what area of life it is. If you, like, I've never been an alcoholic. So for me to sit here and talk to you about overcoming an alcohol addiction, I think that's out of my league. I don't think that I should go learn about that and then sit here and tell you that how to overcome an alcohol addiction. I may very well go get educated on psychology or something like that to help someone out of that, like, addictions, period. But I feel like a true alcoholic that was like in the throes of battling an alcohol addiction, and that could have been a test for his soul or her soul. They come out, they can start their own teaching or organization, business on teaching other people that are facing the same alcohol addiction. Because let's be real, some people come out of their alcohol addictions, some people don't. It's just like drugs. I've never been addicted to drugs. There's some people addicted to illegal drugs. There's some people addicted to prescription drugs. I've never been. So I can't sit here and tell you, okay, I can sit here and tell you all day, let's drop this addiction, blah, blah, blah. But I wouldn't know personally because I didn't experience. Me, I happen to go through a lot of spiritual stuff. You know, I've experienced things. Not everything, but I'm going there. I'm getting there. I also happen to have a thing dealing in relationships. That was my experience. That was my battle. Those were my battles that I had to try to overcome. And there's more. But my theme happens to be based more in spirituality. Okay? The combination of spirituality and being human. Because I don't like to get way up there. You know, I don't like the way that feels. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like people start like looking towards you as like a guru or something, or like somebody above them. No, that's not what I want to be. I collaborate both because I understand how to go into both worlds. I understand how that feels, what that looks like. That's it. So other than that, like, don't come to me with a bunch of like judgment or whatever the case may be on like other things I may do, because that has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? It has everything. That's something that I'm still in human form, still, you know what I'm saying, still overcoming. I haven't put that down yet. Learning how to manage my money more properly. That's something that I'm learning. And guess what? I'm doing a good job at it as of now. But I had to face that as well. Maybe sometime in the future I could be a financial planner. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there talking about me. But like, I've had a lot of people ask me about myself personally. And they wanted me to talk about me making it through certain experiences and everything. Like, and to help them identify. So that's why I'm saying all this. But let's get back. So, the Aquarian age, right? Let's first talk about what is an Aquarian energy. Because remember, right now, I'm not talking about the humans. I'm not talking about the people. I am talking about the energy. So take yourself out of it. Take yourself out of it. We're talking about energy here. And we're talking about Aquarius. And we're talking about Uranus, Saturn. All right? That's what I want to do right now. There's a higher octave of Aquarian, though, because like, as you evolve, the planets switch their rulers. Okay, and I don't want to throw that in right now. So you got Uranus, you got Saturn. Uranus is all about the think tank. Uranus is an outside planet. So Uranus is gonna think of the collective. Uranus is gonna want to know. Uranus is like that energy is like, they're all like mini gods, but that energy is like a higher level. Okay, so that energy is embodying like a very high frequency. Okay, it's directly connected to our minds and our spirituality. Okay, and it's unpredictable. It's an unpredictable energy. Why? Because it being unpredictable teaches us how to live in the moment. Okay, because living in the moment is a very big part of manifestation. Why is it also talking about manifestation? Because it's also labeled as a planet of hopes, wishes, and dreams. Okay, so it's no wonder that it's teaching about living in the now, manifesting the mind. Okay, but in order to manifest from the mind, you have to be able to envision something that is not yet there or here, right? In order to bring it about into existence. But you can't do that if you're stressed with bills, if you're stressed with wars, who's going to pretty much kill who. And I don't know. That's probably all part of our test still. But I'm just saying, you can't manifest when you're distracted. So that's why people preach about it's important to bend in and out. That's what is representing the Aquarian age, okay? The Aquarian age is all about technology and the collective. That energy, okay? And it's more, but I don't really want to go. I'm trying to get to a point here, and I can talk all day. All right. So our planet is moving along its little path into that energy. It was in the Piscean energy. The Piscean energy, if you think about Jesus, represented two fish, the believer. As a matter of fact, Jesus, in the sense that everybody knows him, was a very big thing for that age, because Jesus moved everybody from the age, the Aryan age, the age of just doing, war, ego, You didn't have to know. You didn't have to believe. You just went by your own accord and you would kill people at the drop of a dime. You would wage war, or you were just fast living, didn't even enjoy life, didn't understand who we were as human beings, or no, spiritual beings even more. Because we didn't, our minds wasn't, at the time, our minds wasn't conceiving a lot of the mental. You were just action. And Jesus came along, because remember they moved from the Arian to the Pisces. And Jesus came along, and Jesus was like, no, slow down. Like, you cutting this dude's head off because he doesn't believe the same thing that you believe. Or he doesn't do the same things that you do. Now, we can sit here and say that's an element of belief, but if it is, then I feel like you would have to ask yourself. To me, it was more animal instinct, okay? Because you would have to then ask yourself, like, okay, well, if this is about belief, then why am I believing what I'm believing? Okay? So Jesus had to come in with the belief system, or the religion concept had to come in. Now remember, the energy of Jesus, Yahshua, however you want to call it. There's more. I hear people saying Emmanuel, just different stuff. Remember, that energy is still real, whether people like to admit it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to sit here and label it or like lower it down to any one particular belief or anything. But I'm saying, in order to get people to now act less, be more compassionate and understanding, and perceive other people as more than just like some animal or indisposable, you had to come in with this system that taught people how to do it. And Jesus, that system did. Okay, now I'm not gonna, I beg to differ. Like, I believe that some stuff in the Bible is good for metaphorical references and spiritual references and very helpful for today. I do, but I happen to believe that, or it got us to where we're at now, or it was getting us somewhere. But I do happen to believe that it was information already predating that book or any books. Okay, so keep that in mind. But as we're going, right, as we're going on, and Jesus that dying on the cross, because Jesus is like, look here, something has to happen, and I have to sacrifice. I have to now sacrifice myself to show these people that it's something beyond here. Hence, die, rise again. Because now you're believing or trying to perceive the fact that there's something else above just this physical. Okay? It has nothing, to me, it has nothing to do more than just it has, the only thing that is really having to do with, when you really look at it, is just simple as humans interacting in an experience based on what it needs to experience at what time. That's it to me. That's all I'm getting from that. It gets complicated when you start trying to pile all these other ideas and theories and all that on top of it. It gets complicated. That's simple as that. There's nobody to blame. It ain't nothing to do. Although, when you understand that, because we're in a dual system on planet Earth, the experience is about you conquering your duality. So yeah, there's going to be positive and negative, dark and light, evil spirits, positive spirits, angels, demons. It ain't their fault. It's, can you as a human being conquer or master your duality? That's it to me. That's all I see. And you can get in the throes of saying, oh, but that demon made me do it. But you see, in order for you to be possessed, you had to have set yourself up for possession to take place. And how do you do that? By you not being in control of your own mind, of your own self. Because now you're allowing something else outside of yourself to be in control of that. Whether it's good or bad, whatever the case it may be, it took over and used yourself based on your weaknesses that you're incarnated with. That a lot of people face in past lives, okay? Those same weaknesses, okay? Now, with that being said, yeah, so the Piscean age is getting us to the point of where we're now ready to evolve to, okay, yeah, I believe in this. I did get it. You know, I did get that there was a higher power. There was something else. Now I'm more compassionate for other people. You know, I have a more, in order to believe that there's a higher power, you have to have some type of faith. But now, in the Aquarian age, is getting us pushed along more to, okay, well, not that I believe that there is, I know. Because now what most people really don't understand is that Uranus or Aquarian energy is very spiritual and intuitive. And that's why they get faced with the most challenge of knocking their own intuitive abilities. You might see some of them, because they want to knock the ability, or that energy wants to knock the ability. Well, the people that harness that energy wants to knock the ability of their intuition. Then they come with self-doubt, because remember, I want to know, and they're also ruled by Saturn, okay? But because they want to do that, they will frown upon, sometimes they will frown upon or not religion. Get it? The Antichrist. Because we're going into this Aquarian age. They want to knock the belief of something. That's why they want to know. And that's why their same spirituality that they want to claim so bad, or they want to have so bad, they knock it. Because they want to challenge it. They want to be like God, because it's almost as if, you know, if you're in God's likeness, then you're made like God. But okay, so I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying they want to challenge it. The people, the human beings that's embodying it, they get challenged with challenging the spiritual. They may struggle with having a relationship with their guides or helpers. Not all of them, because it depends on, you know, but they may even frown upon or look at other people like, okay, yeah, you're really not believing. That's not true. And it's not that it's not true. They just find it a challenge sometimes, because that's what they're getting tested with. That's what's getting in their way, because of the force that's emitting from that energy. Okay, and I could get even deeper. This energy got a lot of stuff connected to it. Homosexuality, a lot of stuff. It's too much. It's already 28 minutes. Hold on. So while I'm charging my so excuse me, guys. Y'all know I get real comfortable with y'all, with people, not people, but like with my job real quick, that it don't matter to me. I'm just raw with it. I ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing or whatever, because I don't have those intentions. I'm just here. Okay, so what does that leave me? Okay, so, but we're going into this new age, because we're coming from believing to knowing that we're spiritual beings, knowing that it's we don't have to believe in it anymore. We know it. Why? Because we become manifestors. Saturn is there. So Saturn is here. It's like saying, yeah, okay, Uranus, like Aquarian, we can do this. We just have to restructure the program. Ones may beg to say, well, that's still been in the matrix. I'm going to say that. Probably so. That's a whole nother video. All right. And I had some people say we're in Aquarian age now. Some people say we are still in the Piscean age, but we're going into the Aquarian age, so we have to start these changes now. And then some people say like we're straddling both, which is I can understand that. And when you straddle both, there's confusion because now you're confused about should I believe in this? Oh my gosh, should I believe in this? Should I believe in this? Should I know this? Like this common sense, you know. That's why you have a confusion, and that's why you can even have a war, like religious wars, or people stand. You got some people that still want to hang on to the old, but then people that's trying to get you to go to the new. People are saying, okay, you're devil worshiping, antichrist. You're coming to steal our religion. All the Bible was doing was predicting the new age. Okay. And not to mention that the writers of the Bible freaked up some of the understandings behind it on purpose. Okay? Why? To control the minds and the hearts and the spirituality of the people. Once you know you're free, government doesn't rule you. Okay. And you can have a very peaceful life. Where, you know, God or the universe itself is trying to bless humanity with, okay, you guys struggle for a while. The pendulum swinging. We want to bring you more peace. Or the universe wants to bring more peace. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, so Aquarian age. Why are we seeing so much change in the world? So much talk about like just movement change, things being unpredictable, it's not the same anymore, and it seems harsh, and it seems like we want to hang on, but there's no way around it. That's the Aquarian age like playing itself out. Now, let's talk about the air signs in the Aquarian age, because see, in the Piscean age, the people or the energy that was prized or more prosperous, shall I say, was the energy that was compatible with the Piscean energy, which is the water signs and the earth signs. If you was like an air element, let's just be real. Like, let's take even 100 years back. Like, if you was like an air element person or either like a fire, you would get the brakes put on you real quick, because, or you would be like the revolutionary. The revolutionary. Let's look at this right now. If you take, I know like a couple Aries born individuals right now. Now this could play out in your chart, but I'm just talking about that I know about the sun sign. That is like freaking pathway makers right now. Like a revolutionist right now. Back in the day, they would have been murdered probably for speaking out like this. And many of them were. Because they didn't just go along with the kumbaya, my lord. Yes, let's just sit back humbly and watch ourselves be taken advantage of. See? Because along with each energy is good, but it's also bad aspects or negative aspects to each energy. And there's also always a group of people, individual spirits, it doesn't matter, that knows how to work with the energy, even if you don't, even if we don't, right? So they'll take full advantage. But anyways, those were the more prosperous signs. Now, switching over to the air Aquarian age, the wave makers there is every energy, yeah, but you're gonna be where change comes into place is because a lot of people that's embodying like air energies that's complementary and compatible with the Aquarian energy, because it's an air energy, by using their skills. Because it's not going to be everybody, but the people that take advantage of using their skills in the way, just by being themselves, where in the past they couldn't, you know what I mean? It's going to help them and be very prosperous, because you're helping and assisting God, the universe, into this new age. And then we have another very compatible energy to the air signs is the fire energy, which is sextile. So you're going to see a lot of individuals that's speaking out, that's implementing this change, and all that, you're going to find them to be air and fire. Or it's going to be in their chart somewhere where it matters the most. Like if you have a Sagittarius Mars, that's the go-getter. So you can be like a water sign with the Sagittarius Mars. And another thing, the water sign Scorpio is also a very big contender, because see, you got Pluto there, and Pluto exposes the truth, removes the veil, causes the pain in order to get people to wake up and grow and see that there's change happening. And the reason why is because Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, a fire sign. Okay. I ain't saying that these signs ain't gonna have it hard, because they are, because they're gonna have to wake up and realize that they don't have to blend in, I'm going with the collective or the status quo anymore. So they've been brainwashed, and this energy has been taught certain aspects that's not true. So in the waking up process, you're going to go through something. Just everybody is, okay? We're talking about the energy here, not the people. But as we incarnate and we know what energy our souls is going to fall into to play out, that's something that's already been done, because you got so many different levels of souls living on this planet. You got some levels of some souls that are very young and not age necessarily, but experience. And then you have some souls that are higher. So keep that in mind. Okay, the water energy here is going to face difficulties, because if you think about regularly air and water, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that water is like, give me the emotions here. Like, give me the belief, something I can believe in. Give me something that I can follow. Give me something that I can have faith in, which is fine, by the way. Because remember, we're just talking about energy here. Give me security. Give me loyalty forever. I know this, but I feel this. Hence, emotions. Hence, mastering our emotions. Because in order to manifest, you have to master your emotions. Because emotions is going to be that force, that intuitive force, or the intuitive link that connects you to your manifestations. Okay? But nonetheless, the air doesn't deliver to the water on the emotional level like the water wants. So in the Aquarian age, the water has to master its self. Okay, to be more in control. Understand that there's no sense of security within another person, within another situation. The security has to come from yourself. See that's where the change takes place. And people are human beings that is incarnated in that energy, or is mostly in their chart, especially in certain areas of the chart, has taken on that soul mission to learn to master itself in those certain situations. Fire is more sextile. It's more compatible with air energy. See, fire is kind of like, show me what direction to go in, that is going to be prosperous for me, that's going to bring attention to me, now remember, these energies are playing out positive and negative. That's why you see in the movement where we're going, you see like, okay, yeah, there's a higher, there's an easier way to come across access to a lot of knowledge and teachings, but as well with the internet. But as well, you see people use the internet for theft, identity theft, to lure children. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But with the fire energy, you get to show your individuality. You get to go after what you want. Okay. You get to use your mind on a higher level, or use your being. Because you think of Sagittarians is all about action, but this is the thing. Sagittarians need something to have that action, and about Sagittarians is also highly spiritual. Okay, so you can't In the new age, there's no need to try to say there's no such thing as a higher force, because it's not going to happen. I just feel like you're learning that the force is with you, like the force is with us. But still, Sagittarians, with that fire, is taking us there. It's taking us there because fire and air are sextile. Fire and air are compatible with each other. You need that vehicle to take you to the change, to take us to the change, okay? To take us to what we know by any means necessary. Because the fire is what, pushes it. My head is itching. Okay. Then, so the fire energy and people acting off of that is going to be very beneficial. If you have that fire in your chart, where you have it, especially in your sun, moon, and rising. Okay. Mercury. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter. The reason why I say sun, moon, and rising is because it's like your identity. It's like what people see most of you, But it's really anywhere in your chart. That's where you could probably use that energy to be beneficial for change. Earth is so structured and stable, material oriented, relies on that material, relies on the tried and true. And get this, now the earth has to change. So what did I say at the very beginning when I spoke of Saturn also being a co-ruler of Aquarian, and what Saturn is trying to say? Saturn is teaching or showing or developing us in a sense or a way to understand that we now have to restructure ourselves, and we cannot be based on materialism. In order to do this, in order to have change, in order to have the survival of humanity, we cannot be based on materialism just for materialism's sake. Okay, let's see what I can get for me and mine. Materialism, laziness and complacency, or stubbornness, and the tried and true, and the I'm here for the forever is being challenged, because now we have to restructure ourselves. The earth has to restructure, and the earth is incompatible a lot of times with air, because air goes against that structure. But what people don't get is that Aquarius is air, but Saturn is the structure. So in Aquarian, in the whole Aquarian change and movement, right, Saturn is still there. So Saturn is not granting peace necessarily. That energy is not granting peace to the people that's immovable. See? That's why when I'm even doing like my monthly horoscopes or whatever, I try to teach in while I'm doing it. And a lot of people that don't get it, they don't get it at the time. They think that, or they're like, I don't want to hear that. I don't care. This is the truth. When you're dealing with energy, a lot of people put their emotions into truth. You could say it's a perspective, because once you are able to perceive something now different in a different way, you wasn't able to perceive it in another way before. Okay, but I'm saying, just because you're not able to perceive it doesn't mean that it's the truth or a lie. It just means that you're not able to perceive it. It don't mean that it's not true. Like, okay, for an example, everything that I just explained is nothing but energy we're talking about here. The elemental parts of who we are, of our earth, that comes together that creates our earth. That's it. So when I'm talking about the energy, people get offended like I'm talking about them, because you're embodying that energy, but you don't get that everything ain't lollipops and smoke screens. Okay, that's what you have to come outside of the box and be about the truth, not about what you want to be true, because you only limit yourself. And every time I'm saying, and every time you get mad because you're like, okay, yeah, but I don't act like that. That's when you really need to look at yourself to see that you probably do. Every energy has positive and negative. I'm a freaking Gemini, and I can sit there and tell you all day I had a problem with being complacent, with following through with my dreams and my ideas and my goals, because I didn't know how to do it. I did, but I wasn't able to perceive that information at the time. And if somebody would have came along and told me, you know why you fail at your project, you know why you fail at you don't finish your goal, because you don't listen. Okay? You don't listen, and you do not follow through. I would have took it as an insult, and I would have taken it as, you freaking jerk. You don't know me. When the person did, because that's how people show up to us. They show up to us in a way, like a reflection, like a mirror, to give another perspective. So then we can see ourselves. And it's up to each individual where you're going to listen to it or not. You don't have to. That's the thing. And you will go through your whole life being a victim. And it wasn't until I realized, like, dang, I am doing that. When I realized it, when I took it on for the truth of who I was, of what was going on, and I looked and I'm like, Gemini energy does do that. That has nothing to do with me personally. It has everything to do with the energy. And the reason why I must incarnate in this energy is because this is something that I have to master. See that? But then I started learning, like, yeah, I want to create this. I got to put my all into it. And when it gets hard, I can't leave it. I had people even to come along my way or my path to try to, and I don't think they was doing it on purpose, but try to discourage me from my path. And that was just a challenge. I had to believe in myself and what I know and what I had to work with. Couldn't be a victim. Couldn't be an escape artist. Had to deal with it. And that's what this is all about. Okay, so we're heading to the Aquarian age, guys. So there's going to be massive change. You start seeing like these ultimate challenges, and you could call like twin flames or something like that, that you're going to start seeing in like your relationships with people, because now the universe is asking for massive change. A lot of times, we as human beings, if we have not mastered ourselves, we need other individuals for our mirrors. So we get them in the form of difficulty, but we love them so much. But the only way to really get them is to change, but not change because they said it, change because we want change. You get it? That's why you have so many of you have like the label twin flames on these connections with people, because that's just a label, but you have these connections. But you see, like for instance, you probably notice that you and your twin, if you really get physical, you really look into the charts, you may find like you and this person you have a connection with, that you may call your twin or whatever, you may see that y'all have hard aspects in your charts with each other to overcome, in order for you to master, in order for y'all to really be together. That's all practical all day. It's spiritual, but it's practical. And that's what a lot of people that's teaching about this is failing to mention, because they don't understand it necessarily. And I'm not knocking what is being taught, but I'm saying you got to get off the victim mentality and victim train. And you have to understand that there's no security nowhere when it's outside of yourself. And when you're trying to base it within another person or another situation, you have to do it from yourself. Aquarians in relationships, Aquarian energy is independable. Not dependable like the Piscean age. We created relationships based on the Piscean age. I need someone here. We go through life and death together. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to stop. It's 50 minutes. But I want to say thank you guys. And I'll be back with some more talk about the Aquarian age, okay? And I hope that didn't go too far over your heads. I'll be trying. All right, until next time. Oh, yeah, also feel free to email me at butterfly2light11@gmail.com. My website is www.divineinfinity.org. I'm changing and updating that right now. But like, if you need, I also do personal coaching to get people from one age to the next, basically. So, and right now I'm offering that at $45 for 45 minutes. I suggest you jump on it because it's a good deal, and you can ask me questions, and I don't use my cards for that. This is just about spiritual understanding. Okay? And to understand why you're facing certain spiritual blocks or whatever the case may be. All right? Until next time. Peace.